Imagine an extraction shooter filled with zombies and all sorts of other monsters. You have to go out, hunt, claim your bounty, but you might come across some other people. This is Hunt Showdown, the best extraction shooter I've ever played. And if you know about Hunt Showdown already and you are, well, it has mostly negative reviews as of recent. So how is this game even good, you moron? I will address those issues later in the video. So stay put with me and listen to what I have to say. For those that don't know about Hunt Showdown, it is an extraction shooter where it's PvPvE. So while you have to worry about other players, you have to worry about other monsters, what's out there in the wild. And the monsters in this game are cool. There's zombies, bee zombies, fire zombies, armored zombies. There's zombies without heads. There's hellhounds, man. Those things are the absolute worst. And there's way more that I haven't even mentioned. But that is just the PvE aspect. And the PvE aspect is one of the reasons I like and enjoy Hunt Showdown so much. In Hunt Showdown, you play as a bounty hunter. And as a bounty hunter, you are set off on a mission to go and get that bounty. These bounties come in the form of monsters. And these monsters are stronger than the average. The monsters you have to hunt down for your bounty are all very unique and might fight and play differently. Now, keep in mind, when you go onto a bounty hunt, the lobby that you're going into is filled with 12 people. So that's 11 other than yourself, and you guys are all hunting for the same bounty. There could be 1 or 2 bounties on each lobby, but inevitably you are going to come into contact with other players. When you come into contact with other players, that is when the combat happens, and this is when Hunt Showdown starts to shine. The combat in Hunt Showdown is, simply put, amazing and extremely fun. There's a vast amount of weapons and a lot of variety within those weapons that you can use. There's katanas, there's crossbows, there's whole-ass sniper rifles, and that's only to list a few. It really caters to whatever playstyle a player would want. Aside from the weapons, there is also the utility in Hunt Showdown, and the utility is personally one of my favorite parts about the combat of Hunt Showdown. Utility in this game plays a major role in deciding if you're going to win a fight or lose it. There's so much utility in this game, it almost feels like there's always an item you can use for whatever situation you may be in. To list a few, there's dynamite, firebombs, and stalker beetles, which are the game's unique take on information gathering. Basically, to summarize stalker beetles just real fast for you guys, you place yourself in the beetle's body and then you can use it almost as a drone to look out for people. So yeah, you can tell how in-depth the combat is just by this quick glance. And I haven't even mentioned other combat related features like how hunters will have traits or how different bullets will have different effects. I won't cover everything that's related to combat in this video because I'm not doing a guide video, but simply telling you what you're missing out on. With our quick little summary of combat in this game complete, let's move on from PvP and talk about the PvE part of the game. PvE plays a major role, obviously, because you're out there on that map to get that bounty placed on a monster. Going into the game, there are all sorts of monsters everywhere. There's zombies and there are different variants on land, while you may also encounter hellhounds or water devils, and are the worst things ever. While the small grunts you're going to encounter are weak, there's many other monsters aside from them you're going to have to worry about, and they're all a pain in the ass. Including the monster you have a bounty on. Bounty monsters are very tanky and also have abilities unique to them only. For example, one bounty monster you can encounter is Butcher, who's a giant pig who flails fire everywhere, which can be a real headache to deal with. Not to mention, while you're fighting your bounty target, you could also be attacked by other hunters who are after the same bounty you are. You see how it all comes together now? The PvP and PvE in this game tie together so well, creating one of the best extraction shooter experiences. Sometimes this game can be slow, but whenever the action starts, it's one of the most thrilling and intense moments you can have. And when you come up on top and survive the fights you have, it's the most satisfying thing ever. You want to know what else is satisfying? When one of the most important things in a game is executed well. That is the best thing ever. In this case, I'm talking about the sound design of Hunt Showdown. If you want a good extraction shooter experience in a game, you need to nail down the audio part of it. And this game does an amazing job. Here, just listen to the game for a bit. As you heard for yourself, the game sounds amazing. However, it doesn't just sound amazing, but the audio itself brings an abundance of information to players around the map. Information is critical and crucial to players who are scouring the map and hunt for players or even monsters. If you're an extraction shooter player or just someone who can recognize good sound design, you know how audio goes a long way. It can give away your position or the position of enemies. It makes or breaks a game environment, and is absolutely crucial to keeping the player focused and alert during a game, especially one as important as Hunt Showdown, where fights could happen at any time unexpectedly. But you know what makes the audio in this game stand out even more? The map. The way the map interacts with sound is executed so well. You might be wondering, what do I mean by the map interacts with sound? Let me lay it out for you. Throughout the map, there are many different sources of sound, especially sources that can be triggered by players. A few examples of this would be broken glass on the floor, cans hanging from a door frame, or twigs placed in the forest. These are all sources of sound that can be triggered by players when they interact with them, and when other players hear these sounds, they are able to tell the position of an enemy pretty well. There are other sources I didn't list, such as being able to hear players healing or reloading, but you get the general idea. So now you get that Hunt Showdown sounds amazing and interacts with the map pretty well. But what about the map design by itself? The map is massive, and I mean massive, and graphically looks amazing. There are elevation changes throughout the map and very cool places of interest. You never know when you're gonna get caught into a fight, and when you do, it'll always be under different circumstances. Sometimes you might be in a building, fighting people outside, or you may even find yourself fighting someone in a forest from a long ways out. And that's one of the best things about Hunt Showdown. You never know when things will heat up, and when it does, it hits you hard. Fights in this game will never be the same. You may have a loadout that favors close combat, or a loadout that prefers long distances. You may be inside a building with lots of cover, or you might be in the mountains where there's not much to take cover with. The combat is amazing because of how fluid it is and how different fights can come out to be. It always keeps players on their toes and makes them fight efficiently, while also considering what resources they may have on them that will give them the upper hand in the fight. Although the game is amazing and balances all of its different components extremely well, it has mostly negative reviews on Steam as of late. You might be wondering why. Why would a game that you glazed for about 7 minutes have negative reviews? This game has its rough edges, especially with the new update they rolled out, causing different issues for players, such as crashing, rough optimization, and the horrible UI. Even I can admit, as someone who loves and enjoys the game thoroughly, that the new UI is bad. But despite that and its other underlying issues, I'll still play the game. And I personally don't think it's a big enough issue to where I feel the need to not play Hunt Showdown again. Especially when the developers have recognized that their UI is bad and have already responded to the community saying that they'll improve it. At least they're not actively scamming their player base. The current issues do suck, and it's understandable that the Hunt Showdown community would be upset. However, the core gameplay is amazing despite that, and these problems are just something that's happening at the time and will be fixed at some point. If these issues sound like they'd be game breaking to you, then I totally get it. But this game is way too good for a couple of issues to put it down the rest, and the gameplay loop is addicting. Hunt Showdown ties fluid and intense combat together with amazing sound design and a beautiful map that encourages players to play tactically. And I don't think it's worth not playing and missing out on this amazing experience over a few problems that can and will be fixed in due time. Ever since I started playing this game, I have consistently come back to it, and I will be playing it for a while. It's the best extraction shooter I've ever played, and I hope when you give it a try, you'll feel the same way. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I really appreciate you guys for watching it until the end. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.
Now you listen here, you bum fuck piece of shit on the bottom.